Yes, I, Grenada, Carrick, Monica, and the world. We want to welcome you to another Mikey Live program, and I'm your host, Mikey Hutchinson. Folks, this is where it all happens. We're talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. Of course, we tell you stories that you have heard nowhere else. We tell you things that you want to hear, really, as it relates to the news. Of course, at this time, we want to encourage you to share the program with somebody that you know, or probably to make it easier for you, just share it on your wall so that other people will get to know that the program is live. Folks, we call this the news discussed, not told. We'll tell you what's making the news with everybody else. We'll tell you what's making the news with us. All right, so folks, brace yourself. It's going to be good. I see again, as usual, we have some new followers with us this day. So thank you to those of you who are following us now for the first time and viewing the program for the first time. All right, and do not make this the first and the last. All right, we have the headlines for you tonight. Investigation launched into allegation of rape at the Mungay Mental Institution. As well, accused assistant coach makes first court appearance, and we also have narrow escape for a driver who crashed at Woodlands, St. George today. CPA statement on recent tragic death of young Quinette. All right, and as well, the minister says that we are ending the year with 10 ambulances. 10 ambulances in Grenada. Yes. Police officer in Barbados remanded to prison for stealing. If we get time, we're going to talk to you about that. And the Caribbean Airlines aircraft evacuated at Piaco, all right, Trinidad. 28 homicides in St. Vincent for 2018. Very interesting numbers. So we have that and more to tell you about. Again, we want to encourage you to share the program with somebody. In fact, again, it is always easier to just share it on your wall. Now, that's it for the headlines, and we're going to be coming back with the news in a moment. We want to remind you that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and Colombian Emeralds International. Now, when we come back, it's real news in Ololililolo. So stay tuned.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
The GUT Credit Union, in collaboration with Waggy Promotions, invites you to its first ever Members Market and Fun Day, Saturday, November 3rd, Monroe's Playing Field. Join us as we put our members' talents on display. Fashion, food and drink, arts and crafts, and so much more. Plus, special offers from us at the Credit Union and our partners. That's not all. We have lots in store for the entire family. Bring the kids along for a day of fun. Bouncy castles, rides, and pictures with the favorite cartoon characters, live performances from our local artists, free entry and health check. Starting time 12 noon and goes on till Saturday, November 3rd. Monroe's Playing Field is the place to be. It's your chance to support small business ventures in Grenada. Proceeds will be donated to the Grenada Kidney Foundation. Bring your friends and the family along. GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
extended by popular demand. It's the Courts Thanksgiving Day sale. For a limited time, enjoy up to 35% off a wide range of items across the store. Shop with Courts Ready Finance and pay nothing until 2019. It's Courts Thanksgiving Day sale, extended by popular demand. Offer valid for a limited time only. Up to 35% off store-wide. Don't miss it. Courts, bringing value home.
Yeah, of course, and you know with Courts it's always about bringing value home. 1 second. All right, so that's how we go there again. What's going on? Okay, 1 second again, please. Thank you. All right, so folks, here we are, and I think we are good. We are loading you. Here you are again. So we want to again welcome everyone who is currently viewing the Mikey live stream. Remember, we are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook, and we are also live on WPG10 channels 10 and 11. On channel 10 is a standard definition, and on channel 11 is in high definition. All right, now folks, let's get into what's making the news for today. Now, the first thing that we have to tell you about is the CPA, the Child Protection Authority. Yes, the Child Protection Authority. Now, we received, let's start from there. We received a press release from the Child Protection Authority, and it had to do with the death of a Quinette. It says here that at the Child Protection Authority, our hearts always hurt to learn of the death of a child, especially at the hands of another minor or young person. In instances like these, everyone is affected. Families, communities, and members of the society on a whole mourn not only the loss of life of one, but the loss of freedom of the other. Now, it says that while no words we express can undo this tragedy or decrease the pain, we are committed to continue advocating against all forms of abuse affecting our children and youth. As signatories to the Convention of the Rights of the Child, every citizen must understand that life is a fundamental right that is to be respected and protected. We therefore urge all to work together to support the protection rather than the destruction of our nation's children. Now, this press release has to do with the death of a Quinette. You know, it's a 16-year-old young girl whose body was recently found partly decomposed in under a house. You know, now yesterday one man was in court for her death, you know, and so as everyone else is talking about this, the CPA is also lending their voice to the discussion. Now, the 20-year-old accused man was charged for the death of Quinette, you know, Quinette Johnson. He has since, after his court appearance, been remanded to Richmond Hill Prison. His name is Randy John, and he was charged with capital murder. Now, John is due to return to court on November 23rd, 2018. Now, an autopsy conducted on the remains of Johnson revealed that she died as a result of asphyxiation. She's believed to have died sometime between October 19 and 20th. Now, media reports say that she was stabbed and suffocated. We do not have the evidence of that, but that comes from media reports. Now, folks, the next story that we have to tell you about, boy, The Minister for Health, Honorable Nicholas Steele, says that Grenada will have a total of 10 ambulances by the end of the year. You understand? He says Grenada can expect better ambulatory services. He said that Grenada will have at least 10 ambulances, which is the standard for Grenada to serve its people. Now, the statement was initially made on Sunday at a convention held by the New National Party. And at today's post-cabinet meeting or briefing, the health minister was asked that question to confirm whether or not, in fact, that we're going to get the 10 ambulances. And not only that, because you know who we are already, what does having 10 ambulances mean? What does having 10 ambulances on island really mean? How does that translate into better service to meet the demands of the people? This is Karima's question.
In relation to the ambulances, the 10 ambulances in total, can you tell us how that translates itself into the health sector's readiness to deal with the demands?
Well, what we've done is independently have these a study done through NADMA as well as Ministry of Health, and recommendations from a Pan American Health Organization with respect to the placement of these ambulances as to where they will be. Some ambulances, as expected, will be based at the General Hospital, at Princess Alice, at Princess Royal, but other ambulances will be strategically placed at health centers within Grenada so that they can readily, or police stations, so they can readily react and reach people to bring them to the nearest or appropriate facility.
All right, thank you very much, Minister. Now, earlier, that was one of the questions that was asked by the minister. But there was another serious question asked by one of the reporters there relating to allegations of rape, or an allegation to be more specific. Let me take that back. Relating to an allegation of rape. A Jamaican national is accusing a male at the Mange Hospital of rape. Now, the minister says that he's aware of the allegation and that an investigation into that allegation was launched, and that when they get the outcome, it will be really different. He also said that he wanted to make it clear that it was not a staff member that is in the center of this whole allegation. This is the minister's reaction to the question.
There was an incident that was brought to my attention that occurred at the Monday Hospital, a very unfortunate incident. As far as I'm concerned, it implies, based on the reports I have, of criminal activity, and therefore I immediately gave instructions for it to be passed on to the DPP and the Chief of Police for them to investigate independently. And if the report that I received turns out to be true, I expect them to take the necessary action if there is a reason for prosecution, that the individuals are prosecuted. I want to be quite clear. The report I've received on an incident that occurred at Mount Gay Hospital is not a doctor or a nurse. The investigation has to go forward with respect to how, if that did happen, how it was allowed to happen. But it is not a doctor or a nurse that committed a crime or possible crime there. It is between two patients. There were a male patient and a female patient. But there is a certain amount of responsibility, and they have to answer, the individuals that were there, as to how that incident could happen. The Ministry of Health has passed it purely because of the seriousness of the matter, has passed it to the Chief of Police for him to investigate, as well as the DPP. and I await and we seek weekly updates, but I await the results of a thorough investigation and would be prepared to. But I think any announcements on that should come from those who are doing the investigation.
All right, thank you very much. You know, I know, give them journalists a clap and thing asking the tough questions now, man. Give them people a clap now. All you. A narrow escape for a driver who crashed at Woodlands today near on-the-spot hardware. It is not immediately clear as to what caused the vehicle to run off the road, but we were able to obtain video footage of the crash today. This could have ended really different. And what even touched me is how quickly Grenadians responded to this. Look at that. How quickly Grenadians, passerbys and stuff responded to this crash. You understand? You can see now one of the occupants of the vehicle coming out through one of the windows. You understand? We could have been telling a very different story. It is not immediately clear as to what really transpired there, because as you can see, there was no oncoming vehicle or anything of the sort. You know? Tough one, boy. Take a look at that again in slow motion. You know? So we have to at least say, thank God, people, there was no, we have not had any details of major injuries sustained as a result of this crash. You understand? Lately, we have been having a lot of crashes and so on involving vehicles. You know, why? I don't know. Maybe now with social media and things like that, all of these incidents are being recorded, so it appears that it is more. I don't know, but that's what it is coming across like, you know. We're not going to judge anything in this situation because, you see, it is very hard to tell because there's no indication of anything, you know, so it's really hard to tell. So, and that also is an indication that, hey, sometimes when there are accidents and crashes and so on, you just don't know what has caused it. So, you know, sometimes there's a lot of speculation and so on. In this case, it seems like a vehicle just driving on its way, just normal driving. You understand? Just normal driving. Yeah. So anyway, that happened in Woodlands. If some of you can recognize the area, right? That happened in Woodlands, next to on-the-spot hardware. The blue and white that you're seeing down there is actually on-the-spot hardware, and the vehicle was traveling in the direction of the junction, the Springs Woodlands Junction. All right. So yes, we do not really know what happened there, but look at this. Look at how Grenadians rushed to the assistance of the person in this crash. We are moving on. All right. Now, the next story that we have to tell you is accused assistant coach made his first court appearance today. You know, I think it was somewhere on we told you about this, I think it's on the 12th or so of October. Well, an assistant coach is being accused. Mr. Brendan Joseph, assistant athletic coach of Guava State St. John. He was arrested and charged with indecent behavior on Friday, 12 October. He made his first court appearance today at the Guava Magistrates Court. The reports are that the alleged incident occurred at the Cuthbert Peters Park that Friday afternoon. Brendan is being accused of exposing himself to an 11-year-old female student. So the case went to court today and it has been adjourned to the 29th of January 2019 due to a no-show of his attorney. Now, added, according to reports, to his bail condition is that he is to stay away at least 100 feet from the complainant, failing which his bail will be revoked. We are moving on. Now, the next story that we need to tell you about, people. There was an event named Corn Fest. All the shady program, no man. An event named Corn Fest that was held in Carriacou a few days ago, people, that we like to share with you. You know, we tell you it's the good, the bad, and the Mikey, all getting everything. You know what I mean? And I thought it was a really nice event. Here is one of our colleagues to tell us more about that, Mr. Kendall Mack from KOMG Productions.
Products such as cornbread, corn dumpling, cuckoo, and corn soup, among others, were available at the 4th edition of Corn Fest. One of the organizers of the Corn Festival is Dexter Leggard.
Very long ago, Carriacou was very big on corn. Corn was one of our main staples. And what we found, like with a lot of like a lot of other things, corn have been dying out. The use of corn have been dying, and we came up with the idea of why not try and bring back some of the ways that corn have been prepared. And so the idea of the festival came about. This is our 4th year, and we have been trying our best to improve every year. And so it's a very wide variety of different things that we get from the corn, and it has been very successful so far.
Corn is a main staple of our local cuisine. Leggard notes with the weather pattern this year has been better for them when compared to last year.
Again, because of the change in the weather pattern, the climate change and all of that, we realized that the corn season is forever changing. Last year, for example, we had a serious problem with getting corn. We had to source most of our corn out of Grenada. This year, thankfully, the season was late and just in time for this year's festival, outside of the normal corn season, which is July, August. And so one of the challenges we have now is trying to figure out when is corn season again because of the weather pattern.
He says they're satisfied with how the festival has grown over the years.
Well, I could tell you we are very satisfied. I mean, we have seen it grown from the 1st year, and every year it has gotten bigger. We are seeing more people participating. We are able to add more products and more things to the festival to make sure that it stays relevant. And so we're very happy with where we are, and of course we look forward to what else we could do in the near future.
The making of a number of corn products were done on site. The Corn Festival is held to coincide with the All Saints tradition. Persons who may have missed out on the 2018 festival can prepare themselves for the 5th year of Corn Fest, as it will be held on October 27, 2019.
Thank you, bro. And from corn, yeah, we don't do corn like we used to, right? But I think it's going to come back, yeah? It's going to come back. Oh, yeah. The next story we have to tell all you about how we're looking for time. You know, we like to... What's the timekeeper tonight? Oh, yeah. Your kidneys, pay attention. All right? Now, Life Underwriters Association of Grenada, they're holding an awareness walkathon. Now, the walk will be held tomorrow, and they're asking for your participation. Now, it is to raise funds for kidney patients, to assist the kidney patients. Yes? So, Mr. Marvin Ogilvy, he's the first vice president of the association. And we spoke to him today about the initiative because we wanted to know more.
Today we're here to basically inform the public about some of the activities that the Life Underwriters Association of Grenada basically undertake. Every year around this time, we have what we call to celebrate our Day of Common Concerns, right? As a local entity, Life Underwriters Association, we have a parent body association called CARIFA, and we have highlighted the 31st of October every year as our Day of Common Concerns. The purpose of the Day of Common Concerns is to highlight the importance of having healthy kidneys, the importance of drinking water, the role that exercise plays in the body, right? And Secondly, to raise funds for that particular day, which goes back to our parent body CARIFA, and it is used to more or less assist persons who would need dialysis, etc., throughout the region. Right? It's not just isolated to Grenada. We've helped persons in Grenada, Barbados, St. Lucia, throughout the islands in the region. Right? So the funds that we raise goes towards a pool, and we more or less assist persons in the region who suffer with kidney problems, helping them with dialysis, etc. Right? So every year on the 31st of October, we usually wear something red, more or less to symbolize the kidney, and we highlight the importance of water to the body. Water is very important in terms of keeping our kidneys healthy. So water and exercise plays an important role in terms of keeping our bodies healthy.
And I hope they listen to that message. Now we had Miss Tracy Benjamin to tell us more about the walkathon.
Hi everybody, I'm Tracy Benjamin, Secretary of the Life Underwriters Association. And today I'm here to invite everybody. The Life Underwriters Association will be having our annual activity, which is hosted every 31st of October around this time, where we raise the awareness of kidney failure or kidney disease. And we are going to be hosting a health walk, which will be held tomorrow, please God, which is the 31st of October. And we are going to begin at the Montrouge playing field. The route is we go through Montu into the Sugar Mill Junction and back to the playing field. So everybody, we are inviting you to come out with the Insurance Fraternity of Grenada. You can come out, join with us as we go into this health walk. And we are really encouraging people to keep their kidneys healthy. And that's the main reason for this walk. So we want to invite you at 5 p.m. Come out with us. Let's walk, let's sweat, let's keep healthy. And we would love to see you there after work tomorrow, please God.
Yeah, all right, thank you. We will be there. Right now we take a trip to St. Lucia, where we have a consumer of bread. A consumer of bread, saying that he was once a baker. Now listen, this man get bread with something in it, some kind of thread looking thingy, and he is upset about it and say that he wants the government to clamp down on bakers, clamp down on people who are not being attentive to what they do when they are serving people. Check this out. St. Lucia.
Bocage resident Anthony Wilson told HTS News Force he made a disturbing find inside a parcel of rolls recently bought from a local bakery chain. Wilson, who spoke off camera, says a piece of what appeared to be twine or rope was apparently lodged in the bread. He says he noticed just before he and his family were about to consume the bread.
That is not the first time. And I'm very disappointed because I lose my money, I throw in less bread, right there's the bread and I don't even want it.
Wilson says he previously worked in the bakery business. He says this apparent mishap indicates a lapse in baking standards.
I was a baker before, and I know when you're baking bread, you strain the flour even before it gets down to the table for kneading, and then you mix your thing, but apparently people just do anything now to make a money. They don't care who die, they don't care about people's health, and that is very, 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 very bad for the health of the people of St. Lucia. Government have to take a stand that these people that are making the bread, that they should be looking into the environment that they use, see that the equipments are in order, because these people can give you anything.
News Force has contacted the owner of the bakery where the parcel of rolls was purchased. The owner confirmed having knowledge of the tainted product and directed Wilson to return the bread for further inspection. The bakery owner says Wilson has not complied.
Based on the response that she gave to me after I reported the matter to her, I was very dissatisfied, and it is being unprofessional in a business like that, which of course you're assisting, you're selling to the public. You should address this matter in a more professional manner and with urgency, but she never did. Tell me, what do you think I can do? What do you think I can do?
Wilson says his attempts to report the issue with the Department of Health have not been successful. he has appealed to consumers to remain vigilant when purchasing grocery items.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, boy, rope in the bread. Yeah, that looks like the string from the flour bag. That's what it looks like. But I don't know. Still, as he's saying, you know, you should at least do better than that. A 28-year-old man, again, while we in St. Lucia, was fatally shot in a village in St. Lucia at around 12:30 a.m. on Monday. All right, and we have that story for you as well, and we have so many of our viewers out there in St. Lucia that we also at least want to cover some of the major stories that's happening there. All right, so here's that story from St. Lucia on that killing.
Was 28-year-old Owen Francois a marked man? Shortly after Francois and another man arrived in a motor vehicle near his home at Bagatelle on the night of October 28th, multiple gunshots rang out. A police report confirmed the deadly shooting occurred at about 12:30 a.m. Francois was allegedly shot several times as he sat in the driver's seat of the motor vehicle.
Owen Francois and a second male were allegedly shot by unknown assailants whilst occupying a stationary motor vehicle. They were conveyed to a medical facility via private means, where Owen Francois was pronounced dead by a medical practitioner.
The shooter, according to Bagatelle sources, allegedly approached the vehicle on foot before opening fire. A second vehicle, parked a short distance back, pulled up alongside the vehicle Francois and the second occupant were seated in. The shooter entered the second vehicle and fled the scene.
He's two of them there, and unfortunately he wasn't really the driver, but they gave him a ride from work. He came from work, and on his way home, you know, the guy gave him a ride, and he decided to drive, and I don't know what really went on before the accident took place, but you know, all of them, he ended up driving the vehicle, and when as soon as they parked, the gunmen just opened fire on them.
Francois' family told News Force he did not own a motor vehicle. They believe he was offered to drive himself home after meeting up with a friend some hours after completing a work shift at a local hotel earlier that night.
They just dread that he probably was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, because he wasn't nowhere with the guy, and he got a ride from Marsha and he ended up driving the vehicle.
The second shooting victim, who was reportedly seated in the front passenger side, also fled the crime scene. He was allegedly shot in the face. A blood trail extending several meters from the bullet-riddled vehicle through the narrow Bagatelle footpath confirmed his escape attempt. Francois, however, never left the car. Both victims were eventually transferred to hospital via private transport. Hospital doctors pronounced Francois dead on arrival. The second shooting victim remains admitted in stable condition. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force Major Crimes Unit has mounted an investigation. No arrests have been made in connection with the Bagatelle shooting. Rihani Isidore, HTS News Force.
Thank you, Rihani. All right, so we are continuing with the news tonight, and the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, a police officer in Barbados has been remanded to prison for stealing. You understand? A police officer, no, we told you about one the other day. Huh? No, we have another police officer remanded for stealing in Barbados. This is the police here. You understand? Never hear that yet. You understand? So they say that he's 30 years old. He was admitted. He admitted to 13 counts of breaking and entering, trespassing, and theft. You understand? Never hear that yet. So I don't know, I just thought that one was really interesting. What I also thought was also interesting is Caribbean Airlines boy today at Piaco, Trinidad. Caribbean Airlines, they have confirmed reports that an emergency evacuation of flight BW1526 took place at the Piaco International Airport, Trinidad. You understand? The flight was operated by one of the airline's ATR-72 aircraft. The reason for the evacuation is still being ascertained. You understand? There are reports that passengers and so on was smelling something burning, and the passengers complained that the temperature had increased and that the air quality had changed. Now, it was at this point that the cabin crew began the evacuation. Now, according to Caribbean Airlines, the flight crew followed the standard operating procedures, and in accordance with the relevant drill, all passengers and crew were safely evacuated and escorted to the domestic waiting area. Emergency services attended and cleared the aircraft. Now, the aircraft has been withdrawn from service and the relevant inspections are currently taking place, they say. All right, so thank God no one was injured, and of course they are taking the precautionary measures and so on, you know. So yes, the next story that we have to tell all you boy, we're going into St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where we can tell you now, interestingly, there has been 28 homicides for St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the year so far. 28. You understand? Now, there was a homicide on Friday. The killing of a 30-year-old Rhodesha Bailey. You understand? They say the body was discovered at about 3:50 a.m. with stab wounds. You understand? And that is one person. And then another, a 56-year-old laborer, Gregory Morris. So 2 homicides Friday. You understand? Now, according to Eyewitness News in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they are reporting that police said that their investigations have revealed that Morris, 56-year-old laborer, sustained chop wounds about his body. You understand? They say that a suspect is in custody assisting the police with their investigation into that death. So these 2 deaths would have brought the count for 2018 to 28. 28. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you know, we neighbor, we people. You understand? I just find it worrying and thing now. Yeah, it kind of worrying and thing now to see that, you know, all these small islands, you know, are, you know, dealing with that sort of high crime rate, homicide rate. 28 for a small island like St. Vincent and the Grenadines is a lot. Trinidad I lose count. You understand? Lose count, you know. Yeah. No star. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, boy. We're moving on. We told you that we were looking into 2 particular cases, and we are still so doing. One of the cases that we're looking into is an incident where a lady claims that she bought some elbows, we call them macaroni, and it appeared to be macaroni that is not worthy of human consumption, and she made her case. Now, we promised you that we were going to have an update for you on that, and so at first it would have appeared to us, based on what has been reported, that the elbows were sold at a side shop in a small village. Based on our research today, so far, we found the same item popping up at several other bigger shops, bigger supermarket outlets. And so we are continuing to follow the trail. All right, we are continuing to follow the trail of that particular item. We have not been able to find any credible information about the actual source of the product. All right, we have not been able to so do, and we continue to do our work locally to find out where may have this particular item come from, to understand why the consumer was experiencing what she was experiencing, and of course at some point in time would find out from the authorities what they plan on doing about it. We are just trying to be responsible in how we handle this particular case, all right, as we do with all others. All right, so what we are going to do right now, folks, we are going to encourage you to share the program if it's your desire, so that you know, other people can be aware that the program is on and so on, and it can help as well with the growth of the program. We take a short break and we come right back.
The GUT Credit Union, in collaboration with Waggy Promotions, invites you to its first ever Members Market and Fun Day, Saturday, November 3rd, Monroe's Playing Field. Join us as we put our members' talents on display. Fashion, food and drink, arts and crafts, and so much more. Plus special offers from us at the Credit Union and our partners. That's not all. We have lots in store for the entire family. Bring the kids along for a day of fun. Bouncy castles, rides, and pictures with the favorite cartoon characters, live performances from our local artists, free entry and health check. Starting time 12 noon and goes on till Saturday, November 3rd. Monroe's Playing Field is the place to be. It's your chance to support small business ventures in Grenada. Proceeds will be donated to the Grenada Kidney Foundation. Bring your friends and the family along. GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
We listened to what you had to say and turn up the old rules, because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now, lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your Quick Pick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
Extended by popular demand, it's the Courts Thanksgiving Day Sale. For a limited time, enjoy up to 35% off a wide range of items across the store. Shop with Courts Ready Finance and pay nothing until 2019. It's Courts Thanksgiving Day Sale. Extended by popular demand. Offer valid for a limited time only. Up to 35% off store-wide. Don't miss it. Courts, bringing value home.
Yeah, that's right. And don't forget, we've been telling you about this one. The Green Street Pre-Primary School, they'll be having a family fun day on November 3rd, alright, at the Camahon Park. Wait, no, where's my date? The date just disappeared on me like just so, you know, man. Alright, so yes, it's going to be happening on that date at the Camahon Park. They're going to be having bouncing castle, horseback riding, face painting, also train rides and games and much more. On sale, eats and drinks and barbecue, chicken, fish, pork and lobster and so on. Right? The horseback riding man say that he will be donating to charity some of the proceeds made from that particular event. They'll be having as well local entertainment names that they say it will be a surprise to you, so they don't want to really mention it. Okay, all right, good. It is now time for the National Report.
more nurses could be added to the public service by the end of this year. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for today, Tuesday, October 30th, 2018, I am Rakisha St. Louis. The Ministry of Health anticipates the inclusion of new nurses in the public service by year end. That announcement by Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele at the government's weekly post-cabinet media brief on Tuesday. Minister Steele says the batch of nurses will graduate from St. George's University with a Bachelor of Science degree in November. The health sector has been placed under the microscope on many occasions as it seeks to improve services to the public and enhance its human resource.
We eagerly await the first graduating class, which should be in November, of nurses from SGU with a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. SGU is working hand in hand with our Nursing Council to make sure that all the T's are dotted, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted with respect to certification. But the first batch will be graduating and successfully with a Bachelor's of Science degree.
Minister Steele says integrating new nurses into the system will improve the scope of work at the hospital and other health facilities on island. He hopes that most, if not all, of the qualified nurses will be employed under the public service.
I expect an enhancement. As always, we are confined within the rules and regulations of the public service agreements that we have made with or through the debt restructuring period. So I would like to, and I'm working to have each and every one of those nurses in the system. But there will be, as we have done in the past, there will be methods that are not the usual expected coming on to the system as an established worker, but I want those individuals as quickly as possible to be serving the public, and I am sure those individuals, having been qualified, want to serve the public. So as Health Minister, I will be working with our Minister of Finance and Department of Public Administration to find ways for these individuals to come into the service.
Grenada's Citizenship by Investment program, described as a model for other countries, continues to make a significant contribution to Grenada's economic growth. During last week's post-cabinet briefing, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, assured that they will continue to ensure due diligence in the program.
Grenada has done very well financially. Part of the reason for the economic growth in the country has been the CVI program. Right now, I can tell you, this year we are earning over $60–70 million in the CVI program already. So you could imagine what it will do for us in the coming months and years ahead. So we believe that it's necessary, but we must have a CBI that does not create problems for us. So if there are problems raised by anyone or any institution or country, we have to examine it, see how we can correct any weakness and move on.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
On November 6, 2018, Grenadians will go to the polls to vote in a referendum. The polls open at 6 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. Remember, first check the voters list outside the polling station before seeing the poll clerk, who will enter your name into the poll book. The presiding officer will then instruct you how to vote before issuing you with a folded ballot paper. After voting, remember the folded ballot paper, how it was given to you. You will then immerse your finger into the electoral ink before placing your ballot into the box. This is a message from the Parliamentary Elections Office.
Welcome back. 4th and 5th form students from secondary schools on the island will be engaged in an electronic career day on Thursday, November 1st, as part of the Grenada Coalition of Services Week. This year, the week of activities is being observed under the theme, Services, How We Grow. The GCSI's chairman, Jude Bernard, said the forum will expose the students to experts who will guide them through various career paths and decision-making.
Where we bring together all the experts in the different fields in one place, and we link them up electronically. This time we're going to be using, I think, with YouTube, the 4th and 5th forms of every secondary school in Grenada and Carriacou. will have access to that feed. They can listen to persons, experts in the field, telling them what are some of the basic requirements and the prerequisites for developing that field, let them know what life is in that area, what opportunities are there.
He said the aim is not only to focus on the entrepreneurs, but to give guidance to those who are upcoming. The service industry in Grenada accounts for over 60% of the country's gross domestic product. At a recent government media brief, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell said an increase in services means more growth and positive projections for the economy.
There is increased economic activity in construction, tourism, transport, retail, trade sectors, and of course in services in general, whether it's education services or other services. We're seeing tremendous increases, and it's the case of St. George University, the case in point, where, as you know, is over 22% of the GDP of the country. So whatever happens at St. George University affects the overall growth in the economy of the country.
These students will converge at the Grenada Boys Secondary School's laboratory on Thursday for the session. The 2018 Services Week will end with an award ceremony on Friday. And finally, as the day for making the decision to accede to the Caribbean Court of Justice draws near, Grenadians are reminded that they will vote at the same polling stations as they did on March 13th. Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele, during the government's weekly cabinet brief, said although the referendum is not a general election, the same rules will apply on November 6th.
You go vote at the polling station that you would have voted at the last election. So just to clear up if there's any confusion or misconception, wherever you went to vote in March, on March the 13th, that is where you will go to vote on November 6th. Orderly conduct and of individuals within a polling station area. Most of you will have seen already the marks on the roads clearly identifying where polling stations are. And the rules with respect to voting are the same for an election within that polling station area. So the consumption of alcohol, the congregating of people inside, etc., only to line up to vote, and then you are to leave the voting area.
He explained that individuals can vote with or without their national identification card.
An individual does not need to have a voter registration card to vote at a polling station. They must have their name on the list, and they must be identified or recognized by the returning officer or individuals within the polling station who are working for the Election and Boundaries Office. It is safer for individuals to walk with their voter registration card and a form of ID.
Polling stations open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Referendum Day, November 6th. That story just ended the national report for today, Tuesday, October 30th. Let's recap the top story. More nurses could be added to the public service by the end of this year. On behalf of all those who made this newscast possible, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for viewing. Until next time.
Alrighty, thank you very much to the team for the national report. It is now time for the weather. We see here that the weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with light showers becoming less frequent as the night progresses. Now, today's minimum temperature is expected to be about 25 or 24.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open water. Alright. Again, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy with light showers becoming less frequent as the night progresses. The minimum temperature 24.5 degrees Celsius, winds easterly to southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour, and seas moderate, waves up to 6 feet in open waters. And that, my friends, is your weather report. Let's also now see some people who we need to say hello to, or we need to say hello to Kireen, my mom and the whole family. Shireen, Shomin, Peter Mitchell, Abby, Suzette, Doria, Sharon, Esther, Shireen, Joan, Naomi. Also we have Doria. Who else we have? Did we say Joan? Yes, we see DC with us. We see Esther, Pauline, and Hazel, and everyone else. Ezran, big up Ezran, Monica, and everyone else. Okay. Hey Wendy, what's up? Wendy, where's your badge, man? You gotta get a badge, all right? Vero as well. We want to say hello to you and thank you for making it Mikey Live. Also Colette, Suzette, Evelyn, all right, and Mirabelle, hello to you as well. Curtis and Kathy. Kathy, where's your badge? Kathy, come on, where is your badge? You're not sharing the program. Kathy, come on, Kathy, you could do better than that. Zaf, where is your badge? Where is your badge, Zaf? Shireen. Okay, yeah, your badge is there. Where is oh, we see we have another Shireen here. Big up to you, Shireen, alright? Esther and everybody else, and Sheba, big up Sheba. So folks, that's as far as we can go for tonight. You can join us again tomorrow, God willing, for another Mikey Live program. We are working on some big stories for you. Of course, at that time, we will tell you more about them. All right, folks, are you ready? So if I am ready, you ready, we ready, let's do this together in 5, 4. You see why make us sweat on the program? Good. That's what I like. You see, so we walk in. Yeah, so I tell you, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja. No. Good night, everyone.